Does your male dog just block your path to the door? You probably thought he was being stubborn, right? Think again. This seemingly simple action is actually part of an ancient protective behavior that wolves still use today. And it's just one of 8 fascinating things male dogs do that most owners misinterpret completely. In the next few minutes, you'll discover behaviors that will transform how you understand your 4-legged guardian. The guardian's pause. Ever notice how your male dog stops at doorways and waits? This isn't hesitation, it's calculation. Research from the University of Vienna showed that male dogs perform what's called threshold assessment, a behavior where they analyze potential threats before allowing their pack to move forward. They're not being slow, they're literally scanning the environment for dangers you can't even perceive. The fascinating part is how they process this information. Their brain activity during these pauses shows they're creating what scientists call a threat map. They divide the space ahead into sectors, each getting a split-second analysis. Those subtle ear movements you see? Each twitch corresponds to a different sound frequency they're processing. The left ear typically focuses on close-range sounds, while the right ear catches distant noises. But here's what makes it truly remarkable. They're not just checking for current threats. Male dogs actually compare what they're sensing against a stored memory of what that same space usually looks like, sounds like, and smells like. Even a slight change in the environment, like a moved piece of furniture or a new plant, triggers a complete reassessment. This behavior is so deeply ingrained that even male dogs raised in completely safe environments will perform it. It's literally hardwired into their DNA from their wolf ancestors. The strategic sleep shift. Male dogs don't just flop down anywhere to sleep. They execute what behaviorists call tactical resting. They position themselves at elevated points or against walls, maintaining clear sight lines to all entry points. But here's the fascinating part. They shift positions exactly every 20 to 30 minutes, not for comfort, but to scan their territory from different angles. Recent studies using thermal imaging have revealed something even more interesting. During these position shifts, their body temperature actually increases slightly, showing they're not just moving in their sleep. They're actively alert during these changes. They'll often position themselves, so their body creates a barrier between perceived entry points and their family members. Even more fascinating is their sleep cycle adaptation. Unlike female dogs who typically follow a more regular sleep pattern, males have developed what researchers call sectional sleep. They break their deep sleep into shorter segments, allowing them to maintain a higher level of environmental awareness. This is why male dogs often seem to be sleeping lightly. They actually are. The resource map. Your male dog's seemingly random sniffing patterns during walks aren't random at all. They're creating mental maps of resources, food sources, water, potential threats, and safe zones. Unlike females who focus on social scent markers, males catalog environmental changes with military precision. They can remember these maps for months and will actively update them with each walk. Advanced studies using GPS tracking have shown that male dogs create specific routes that form a protective perimeter around their regular walking areas. They're essentially establishing what wildlife biologists call a buffer zone around their territory. Each sniff spot serves as a checkpoint, and they'll often return to these exact same spots on future walks to check for changes. The most incredible part? They're not just mapping the obvious things. Male dogs create what scientists call layered environmental data. They track everything from the presence of other animals to changes in human activity patterns. If a new dog moves into the neighborhood or someone changes their walking schedule, your boy knows about it long before you do. The vibration response. Male dogs have developed an extraordinary sensitivity to ground vibrations. When your boy suddenly perks up or starts acting strange, he's likely feeling vibrations you can't detect. Their larger muscle mass, especially in their chest and shoulders, acts as a natural seismograph. Recent research using specialized sensors has shown that male dogs can detect vibrations from up to 75 feet away, depending on the ground type. They're so sensitive that they can distinguish between the vibrations of a familiar family member's footsteps and a stranger. This ability is enhanced by their unique muscle structure. Male dogs have denser muscle fibers in their chest and front legs, which act as natural vibration conductors. The most remarkable discovery is how they process this information. Their brains have specialized neurons that activate only when processing ground vibrations, similar to how dolphins process sonar information. This means they're essentially seeing the world through vibrations, creating a complete picture of their environment that humans can't even imagine. The pack position protocol. Watch how your male dog positions himself when your family is together. He's not just laying around, he's implementing specific pack protection formations. These positions aren't random. They're calculated based on multiple factors including room layout, number of entry points, and the distribution of family members. What's fascinating is how they adjust these positions based on the time of day and activity levels. During high-activity periods like dinner time or when guests are over, male dogs will often position themselves at what security experts call choke points, areas that provide the best vantage point while maintaining quick access to all family members. The most sophisticated aspect of this behavior is their ability to create what researchers call dynamic security zones. As family members move around, your male dog will subtly adjust his position to maintain optimal coverage. They're essentially running continuous risk assessments and adjusting their strategy in real time. The sound sorting system. Male dogs process sounds differently than females. They've developed what scientists call threat priority hearing. When multiple sounds occur simultaneously, they instantly categorize them by threat level rather than volume. This is why your boy might ignore loud traffic but react strongly to a quiet rustling bush. New research using advanced brain imaging has revealed that male dogs have developed specialized neural pathways specifically for threat assessment. Their brains process sounds in parallel channels, one for immediate threats and another for background noise. This dual processing system allows them to maintain constant awareness while avoiding exhaustion from overstimulation. The most incredible part is their ability to remember and categorize sounds. Male dogs create what scientists call a sound library, storing different types of noises and their associated threat levels. This library gets updated constantly, which is why your dog might react differently to the same sound in different contexts. The temperature tell. Your male dog's body temperature regulation isn't just about staying comfortable. They use their body heat strategically, something researchers discovered only recently. When they press against you or your furniture, they're not just showing affection, they're leaving thermal markers that other animals can detect for hours. These thermal markers serve multiple purposes. First, they act as territory markers that last longer than scent marks in certain conditions. Second, they create what scientists call thermal mapping, a network of warm spots that help dogs navigate in low-light conditions. This behavior is particularly pronounced in male dogs, who use it as part of their territorial defense strategy. What's most fascinating is how they adjust the intensity of these thermal marks based on their environment. In colder weather, they'll press harder and longer, creating more lasting marks. In warmer weather, they'll use lighter contact but increase the frequency of marking. It's a sophisticated system of non-visual communication that we're only beginning to understand. The leadership loop. That peculiar habit your male dog has of circling before taking action isn't OCD. It's a leadership check. Male dogs perform what behaviorists call environmental scanning loops. They're literally creating a 360-degree snapshot of their environment, which they'll compare against their next scan. Recent studies using motion tracking technology have revealed that these circles follow a precise pattern. The radius of the circle, the speed of movement, and even the number of rotations is all calibrated to gather specific types of environmental data. It's so sophisticated that military and police dog trainers now specifically look for males who display this behavior. The most impressive aspect is how they integrate this information with their other sensory inputs. Each scanning loop combines visual data, scent information, and spatial awareness into a complete environmental assessment. It's like having a four-legged security system that's constantly updating its threat assessment protocols. But there's one more extraordinary behavior that only a handful of male dogs worldwide have ever displayed. It's so rare that when it happens, it completely changes our understanding of canine intelligence. This behavior has only been documented 3 times in the last decade, and each time, it left researchers questioning everything they thought they knew about dog cognition. Keep watching your boy closely. You might just witness something that could rewrite the books on canine behavior. If you've enjoyed learning about the behaviors of male dogs, you'll be fascinated by our next video about your furry friends. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn notifications on to make sure you keep up to date with our latest content.